Washington Nationals are sitting high atop the NL East standings, but the Mets are lurking right behind them. They go head-to-head this weekend. The pregame Saturday is at 6 Eastern and Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony, we're finally back in the same room. I can't even remember the last time we were face-to-face.
I'm Tony Kornheiser. I saw you this weekend. I was the guy in the red leather mask.
Oh, that was you!
Yeah.
You look like one of those 1960s tag team wrestlers.
Is that where you want to go, wrestling?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to let you dig as deep as you want to go.
Like the assassin.
And then maybe I'll throw you a lifeline and pull you back.
Mr. X.
Maybe I'll do that.
One of those?
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, does the NFL need more ball inflation rules? Does Cole Hamels' no-hitter hurt his trade value? And how does Brian Cashman like Alex Rodriguez now? But we begin today with the first big move of baseball's trading deadline frenzy. Cincinnati's number one starter, Johnny Cueto, has been traded to Kansas City, the front runner in the American League right now. Cueto was a 20-game winner last year. It is said that all the Royals lack is top-end starting pitching. So, Wilbon, does this move establish the Royals as the favorites to win the World Series?
No, we're not going Vegas here.
Vegas has them as the odds on.
I don't care what they have. Let's talk baseball. Let's talk baseball.
Okay.
Because wild card teams that Vegas isn't even tracking right now often win the World Series.
Yes.
Let's dismiss that.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Kansas City Royals and what they've done since they lack top-end pitching. Here's what they get, a top-end pitcher.
And he's going to go, I got this written down, in Toronto on Friday.
Okay, well, Cueto's, though, Tony, is up there with the lowest ERA guys in the last 5 years with Kershaw, Sale, and Greinke. I believe he trails only Kershaw. So you're getting a guy who's durable, has been over the last 5 years. You're going to put him out there, and you hope that in games 1, and if you get to a game 5, that this guy is your ace.
That's right.
It should give everybody on the staff more confidence, and it should move pitchers down to slots where they are more comfortable and better suited.
So if this is the only move, this is a bombshell.
Right.
And Kansas City, which got to the World Series last year without great top-end starting pitching, I think it does establish them as the favorites. But what if Cole Hamels goes to the Yankees or he goes to the Dodgers? You look around now. Well, let's look at really hot teams right now. The Angels are 14-5 since they jettisoned their general manager. They're a happier team now. The Giants, who nobody's thinking about at all, they're 9-1 in their last 10. The Yankees
8-2 in their last 10.
The Yankees are cruising in their division. So, and I haven't even mentioned the Cardinals, and I haven't mentioned the team I like, the Nationals, and I'm not going to go into that. I just think that you have to wait to see who gets who.
But if you're the Kansas City Royals, you don't
feel good.
You make a proactive move. This shows they want to win. They weren't just happy with last year's nice, cuddly fairy tale story. They want to win. They're going to pursue all
and
avenues to win.
And it doesn't cost them that much money because I believe Cueto's a free agent at the end of the year. So you're renting a guy who you think can get you to October.
That's right, Tony. We think a great move.
Big move.
Let's stay with pitchers in the news. With an option of whether to attend a Cubs-Phillies game on Friday or Saturday, I shouted down my son. I picked Friday, which means I missed by 24 hours the chance to see what would have been my very first no-hitter.
I hope Matthew called you an idiot.
Not yet. He's going to get banned from the house. Cole Hamels' 129-pitch mastery of the Cubbies at Wrigley. Presumably, Hamels won't pitch again, Tone, until after he's traded. Maybe to, as you said, the Yankees, maybe to the Dodgers. Tony, would a season-high pitch total resulting in a no-no make you hesitant or eager to deal for Hamels?
I would not be afraid at all of 129 pitches, and I'm going to go to the glasses to give you some statistics. Cole Hamels has made at least 30 starts in each of the last 7 years. He's a horse, okay? He's gone over 120 pitches 15 times. You just give him an extra day's rest. That's all you have to do. He's not a Tommy John guy. I mean, he just proved to you he's still got it.
He still got it in a big way. He's the guy I would be going out there to get. I realize price is just, there's potential there if Detroit makes up its mind whether or not it wants to deal price.
Because you're renting him too.
That's right, probably.
That's right.
But Tony, Hamels is 31. Hamels been around for a while. You think, I even said, let me look up Hamels. I thought he was 34, 35. He's
younger.
31 years old.
Right.
You get a left-handed 31-year-old ace to go at the top of your rotation. Now, I mentioned Yankees and Dodgers.
You don't have to be at the top on some of those teams. With the Dodgers, if you're behind Greinke and Kershaw, how does that look in a 7-game series if you're starting those three people?
On paper, it looks unhittable, but people hit Greinke and Kershaw last year.
They have. I want to go to left-handed starters. I want people to understand that's the most valuable commodity in all of baseball.
Yeah.
And you talk about people like Randy Johnson and Andy Pettitte, and who was the guy who pitched till he was 80 years old, ultimately with the Phillies? I got
Jamie Moyer.
Jamie Moyer. So these guys go into their 40s. I mean, Cole Hamels, he's a prize right now. And I don't think it's like Tim Lincecum with a 180-pitch no-hitter or something like that.
129.
You know,
he's a veteran. He knows how to navigate that. And, Tony, you would presume if he goes to the Dodgers or Yankees particularly, there are managers who understand how to navigate that as well. And pitching coaches, yes.
Alex Rodriguez, speaking of the Yankees, turns 40 years old today. On Saturday, he had 3 home runs in one game. He has 23 homers and 58 RBI. On pace for 38 and 97, which is almost unheard of at 40. He is clearly the comeback player of the year. Well, Brian Cashman didn't want A-Rod on the Yankees this season, made a big deal about that in spring training. How do you think he feels now?
Tolerates it. Doesn't want him now. You and I have been around a lot of teams in our lives where people who had even bigger roles than A-Rod, particularly on basketball teams, they had great players who, as you know, the general manager and even the star player didn't want, even as that guy was producing. And on baseball, you can just isolate a guy. You got so many people, you don't have to affect everybody. That person doesn't have to be in your face every day, even if he's playing every day. And like A-Rod is, I think that if Cashman was right here, you give him to tell the truth, he'd say, you know what? He's produced. I still don't want to have him.
I think he would say, I loathe him and wish he wasn't on the team. But I'm glad he's on the team.
Yeah.
But something has to be said here about this guy. There are baseball people we respect, and they are our friends. And they start with Tim Kirchin and Richard Justice. And they said before spring training, he can't even make the team. He cannot get around on Major League fastballs. Well, all he hits are fastballs up, and he hits them out of the park. This is absolutely stunning. And in terms of personality, we've been told for years he is reviled by all teammates in all clubhouses. And yet he has stuck to the script this year. He talks about being happy to play for the Yankees and happy to play baseball.
And his teammates seem happy to have him.
I'm going to say this, and I cannot defend it, and I can't explain it. I find myself rooting for him. I do, and I know he's a cheat. I find myself rooting for him. I find myself
bothered by this story for one reason. What is clear now, at 40 years old, is Alex Rodriguez plays like this, presumably not on anything.
Presumably.
He could have been the
that
greatest
would take something,
player.
Wouldn't it, if he was on?
It would.
That
takes some nerve. There's another word.
Yeah.
It's stronger than nerve.
Yeah.
He could have been, and should have been the greatest player in the history of baseball.
And
it will never remember him that way.
Nope.
He was a guy who had speed and power early, could be a 40-40 guy.
Great fielder.
He could have been the greatest home run hitter. He could have had 32, 33, 3,500 hits.
Yep.
He could have been the greatest player ever, and he squandered it. So this to me.
Do you find yourself rooting for him even a little? That he's made the most of the last
I was the last guy off the bus, wasn't I? I defended him when nobody was.
The bus driver left the bus long before you did. Left you on there with A-Rod.
I'm bothered by it.
I'm not.
I can't explain. Rolled over.
I can't explain
his tummy.
I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it, but I find myself rooting for him.
All right. From the Department of Duh comes this NFL news, Tony. The league's officials will now be weighing and securing footballs, including making some random halftime and even post-game rechecks. Fox Sports is reporting the league, not individual teams, will inspect and deliver footballs to somebody called the kicking ball coordinator. Sounds like a grade school thing, doesn't it?
Yep.
Who will oversee the balls until 10 minutes before kickoff. This all comes obviously in the wake of Deflategate. Tone, is this actually important?
It's very important. The league should have had control of the footballs from day one. I don't understand why you would let the teams provide the footballs. I don't understand why there's a range of PSI. Hit the number, let's play ball.
Can't you, if you're the NFL and you make billions of dollars just because you wake up in the morning, can't you just hire a guy with a tire gauge from the local Mobil or Exxon?
Sure.
You can get that guy, say, here's some more money.
Patch that says Norm or something like that, Charlie.
Don't talk to any quarterbacks. Don't talk to any equipment guys. Don't talk to any linemen who might touch the ball. Take the balls to this room. End of story. Tony, why wasn't this done over the last 50 years? And why is the NFL, with all the brilliant people working for it, usually to market the product, why didn't they understand this?
There's apparently some pushback on the part of referees who say that during halftime there's a lot of things we have to do. But your suggestion is correct. Hire an extra guy for $1,000 a game and just give him the football.
And a gauge.
A
tire gauge.
But there's a larger story than this.
What is it?
When is this punishment going to be announced? I mean, look, if you're the NFL...
You're negotiating a deal now.
I know you believe they're afraid of a lawsuit, right?
They are afraid of a lawsuit.
Okay, but let me say this.
They lose lawsuits.
Oh, if you're the NFL and you believe in this punishment and you don't have the guts to go to court about it, then you don't believe in anything. When is this going to happen?
You have been invested in sort of justice and fair play and ethics. You've been invested in that. And I've told you all along, I don't believe the NFL that much. That much.
Get this.
All right?
The city of Boston is out as the host of the 2024 Summer Olympics. Boston had won the USOC bid, but Boston's mayor, Marty Walsh, said this morning the city will not pay for all cost overruns as the USOC wanted. So this afternoon, the USOC pulled the bid. Wilbon, big deal, little deal, no deal.
Tom, this is a big deal to me because I'm of an age where I care about the Olympics greatly. You and I have covered a lot of Olympics together and in total. And to me, I mean, I'm surprised to hear from friends who are New Englanders talk about how, you know, the people of Greater Boston didn't particularly want this. They certainly don't want cost overruns. And I compare it to a bid from Chicago, which was snuffed out a few years ago, where Chicagoans, to my knowledge and way of understanding it, wanted desperately to have the Olympics. But to me, communities not wanting the Olympics, this goes back to like pre-Los Angeles. This goes back to the 70s and the 80s when big cities were afraid of the Olympics. When did the tide turn, Tony?
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to look at the symbolism of this because I think it's important. I think that Boston stands for something very strong in athletics in this country. And I think that when you twin that up with the Boston Marathon bombings, you get something very powerful. That whole Boston Strong thing was very, very powerful. I don't understand why a city is expected to pay for all cost overruns. And I don't understand why the United States isn't hosting more Olympic Games. Summer Olympics haven't been here since Atlanta in 1996. This is a television show.
Yes, it is.
We pay the freight on this television show for everybody around the world. West Coast Olympics, good idea for people in the East. Real good idea.
Well, San Francisco
LA has done it. They know how to do it.
But they can host it right away in an emergency situation.
Do you understand that we're talking about something 9 years out? That LA, which was so great in 1984, it'll be 40 years.
Rome? You can't go to Rome?
Is Rome on the West Coast? Did I miss something?
Let's expand this beyond places you can drive.
Okay.
Rome, Paris.
They've had them.
Budapest. They're in the...
I don't know that they've had it before.
Rome had it in 1960.
Rome and Paris have had it.
Paris.
San Francisco? If it was here, if it was in Washington, D.C., you know what I would do?
Would you go?
I would rent my house
and leave.
And I would leave.
Would you go to Rome?
No, I doubt it.
You know what? It should be.
I know where I go. I go to
Chicago. In Washington, D.C.
Yes,
why not?
because it's the capital.
I want you to
Let's
have
take
parties
a break.
at your house.
Coming up, Adrian Peterson wants to rush for 2,500. Is that really achievable?
No. And did Elvis Andrews really need to apologize for throwing his glove at a ball?
Here's what I would do if they had it here. I would go to Boston because it's pretty in the summer. And the
we don't go to Boston now.
Geico presents Strange Savings Stories. Astronomers detected an interstellar transmission. It stated, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. The implications were staggering. Was the cosmos telling us we could all save hundreds on car insurance with Geico? Or did their radar merely pick up a signal from the nearby Rufus and Clyde's morning show? We may never know.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
If you're just joining us, Wilbon and I are finally in studio together. No fighting. No fighting. Email.
We were just in the studio together 3 shows ago, so what are these dopes talking about?
It just seems like you're never here. Adrian Peterson says he's keeping his rushing goal at 2,500 yards. Is that achievable?
No, not at all. Not if the Vikings are any good. They got a young quarterback that they believe in. They would like to see play in Teddy Bridgewater. Adrian Peterson could do this on an awful team. The Vikings have aspirations. They shouldn't be awful. And in this day of throwing the football, no one is going to get enough carries to go for 2,500 yards.
You know, I'm going to disagree with you on this. I think it's a real long shot, but here's why I think it's achievable. Number one, Adrian Peterson is rested. And he's healthy and he's motivated.
So
You'll concede all of
1,800.
Do you know who the offensive coordinator is for Minnesota this year.
Yeah,
It's
Norv Turner.
Norv Turner has a history of shaking 1,000-yard runners out of trees all the time.
Great offense.
What if he gave them 400 carries because Bridgewater was good enough that you had to respect Bridgewater?
They didn't play that way anymore, Tony. It's like saying how many centers are going to lead the league in scoring anymore in the NBA. No,
well, Anthony Davis has a chance next year.
He's moving out the three-point range to do it.
I think it's achievable. I think it's achievable.
2,500 yards.
Yes, I think
that would break the record by 400 yards.
Long shot. Achievable.
Real long. Cavaliers trading away Brendan Haywood and Mike Miller. Something or nothing.
It's nothing. This is a call made by the coach and general manager, LeBron James, so nobody has to worry that he's not on board with it. They obviously ran it by him. They obviously said it was okay. These guys are 50 years old. They can't play anymore. Mike Miller is done. And Brendan Haywood, are you ready for this statistic? He played 119 minutes in 2 seasons. If you need these guys now, you're not a contender, so this is nothing.
We need everybody in an 82-game season in which players now take time off and coaches now make players take time off. Use a full roster. Mike Miller is going to be a Cavalier, Tony. Here's why it's nothing. Because you're going to try to get under the luxury tax. You're going to get under it, but you're going to try to have less luxury tax. This is about money. This is about saving that. You get trade exceptions. You give yourself some cap room flexibility, that much of it. But Mike Miller will be traded somewhere. He will then...
And he'll come back.
Yes, he will come back because LeBron James wants Mike Miller. I don't know about Brendan.
He really can't play.
I don't know what Brendan wants
He watched it during the playoffs.
He can still shoot it a little bit.
So little that it's marginal.
Like Mike Miller.
I know you do, but you're not. Your evaluations are ridiculous. How much credit do the Mariners really deserve for their triple play?
I'm going to say 60% credit. Because there's part of this here that is just fundamental baseball the way it ought to be played. He tags first because he's on it. And you run right at the runner you're taught in Little League. And right here, he finds a runner coming from third base. You have to stop that run. And then, Tony, part of this is only 60% because watch the third base coach. He shoves his own guy off the bag, which enables the end of the triple play, 60%.
This is right out of the spring training handbook as to how you're supposed to do it. First baseman makes a really good play, defensive play. The rundowns, as you say, are perfect. So they're running an A to that point.
Absolutely.
Now, the runner from second base is going to be called out at third. When 2 runners are at third, the lead runner he's got possession of the base. I thought what you thought, that the coach that poor runner on third must feel like such a stooge today because he stumbles and he's tagged out, and the catcher has pressure on that tag the whole way.
How about those Seattle uniforms, those throwbacks? What are those? The pilots? What are those?
I have no idea.
I like those.
No idea.
You notice, did you see KC and the Cardinals in their double knit throwbacks last week? You didn't notice that?
I watched KC and the Sunshine Band for
just watched the Nationals.
They were on the Today Show.
Would baseball be more fun if fielders could throw their gloves at the baseball?
Okay, this comes about because Elvis Andrews, who's the shortstop for Texas, throws his glove at a ball. If you play baseball at any point from Little League up, you know you can't do that. It's a 3-base error if you hit it.
Right.
If you hit the ball,
there's only one way you know.
Error.
How do you know?
Because somebody on your team.
Kid does it. But suppose you play in a situation where a kid never does. I had it happen, like not even in Little League, but Pony League. Where the kid threw a shortstop, playing traditional shortstop between second and third, throws it up, hits the ball, knocks it down, and you're like, and then the umpire walks out and says, "Oh no!"
Because if you could do that all the time, you'd bring home runs back by throwing the baseball. Look, this is not the way it ought to be.
It'd be more exciting.
No, because in hockey you can't throw your stick at the puck, and in tennis you can't throw your racket at the ball. There has to be a small amount of rules that are legit.
And
that's
you know what?
Legit
asking the athlete in question to have control.
What are you going to reach in there for? You got your lunch in there?
Yeah, mine.
You haven't been here so long, you have no idea what's going on. Thanks for wasting your time by writing us emails. Let's take one last break, but still to come, the man at the center of the Richie Incognito bullying episode decides to retire.
Remember that story. And how excited should Mexico really be about its Gold Cup title?
I don't know.
They won a Gold Cup, we didn't.
Good for them.
Excited.
And now, for Geico's edition of Stuff Found in Your Car, we go inside your side door pocket.
Hello, yes, the crumpled receipt with gum in it. From your anniversary dinner, you sprang for expensive wine, your server was Beth. That dinner was a couple $100. Money you could get back if you switched to Geico and saved hundreds of dollars on your car insurance. I bet you'd save that receipt, frame it even. But really, where did I go wrong? Was it the corkage fee?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today.
Bring that here, hold the guacamole. Happy time, people. Happy 22nd birthday, Jordan Spieth. Let's see what he did at age 21. 2 majors, 6 worldwide wins, 16 top 10s and 28 starts, over $10 million in earnings, and in his last 3 majors, 1, 1, and 2. Is this anything I could interest you in?
Yeah, but not nearly as much as the 75th birthday of Bugs Bunny. Take that. Jordan Spieth, get out. Nice having you. Bugs Bunny, 75.
Happy anniversary, Jim Irsay. Around this day last year, you handed out $100 bills to Colts fans at training camp. Oh, so maybe that's why he had $29,000 cash in a bag.
He was making it rain.
Yeah.
He seems like a guy who would do that, too, doesn't he?
Yes.
He should have just stood up top and just float the $100 bills down.
How are those
Making it
tweets
rain.
working out
You
for
would say the optics of the situation aren't good.
Not great. Happy trails to Zach Greinke's scoreless inning streak. It ended yesterday at 45 2/3 innings, the 6th longest streak in baseball history. Ironically, the longest such streak belongs to another Dodger, Orel Hershiser. A third Dodger, Don Drysdale, is second. And don't be surprised if another Dodger, Clayton Kershaw, puts it out there. He is currently working on 29.
Dodger pitching. I think the Royals would like to have Greinke back now because they had him at one point.
I think you want to Cy Young
did.
for him.
Well,
right?
Don't let him go.
Things happen. One clarification. If a fielder throws his mitt at a ball heading into the stands and hits it, it's an automatic home run, so why bother?
Nobody does.
But you throw it at a double, couldn't you? We're running out of show. We go to the big finish.
Let's do it.
A bettor at Saratoga won $471,000 on a 50-cent bet. Your thoughts?
My thought is, I have never gone to the racetrack and bet. Should I do that?
Yes, it's great fun.
Is it?
You've never had beer either. You've never had beer.
Jonathan Martin reportedly retiring from the NFL. I had some in Germany. Your thoughts on Jonathan Martin?
I don't think that after that incident he wanted to play football. I think this proves it. And Jim Harbaugh leaving was his college coach. Yeah. The Heat traded Shabazz Napier to the Magic. How should he feel?
He's going to be third team anyway behind Elfrid Payton and C.J. Watson. I know he was behind Dragic and Chalmers. It's a tough time. He's got to get some playing time. Mexico beat Jamaica to win the Gold Cup. Another team. Big deal?
They won. Did we win? I know people think the calls went their way, but did we win? We didn't win. They won. It's a big deal. Last one, Bachelorette finale tonight. I know you watch. Will Caitlin pick Sean or Nick?
Bachelorette is like Friends and Seinfeld to me.
You're not watching?
No.
We're out of time. We'll try and do better the next time, and I'm Tony Kornheiser.
We won't get into why I don't watch, but you know. I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knucklehead. Check out the PCI podcast on iTunes.
Morneau, killing it at the golf club at Avon. Shout out.
The Washington Nationals are sitting high atop the NL East standings, but the Mets are lurking right behind them. They go head-to-head this weekend. The pregame Saturday is at 6 Eastern and Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio.